Oh, man. Look, yeah. We know who the true Joker this month of October is going to be. Smile 2. But, okay, look, you can find me in Mark's review of the original Joker with Joaquin Phoenix. I stand by it deserved all the accolades it got. I recognized how good Joaquin Phoenix was. I'm going to just move this image a little bit that way. That way there's a bit more of me on the screen. It deserved all the accolades it got. He deserved his best, and I'm lagging now a little bit. He deserved his best lead actor Oscar. Absolutely did it. It deserved its nomination. It is a well-shot, well-made film, beautiful, intensely acted, great soundtrack. It's just not a movie that was made for me. The vibe of the movie does not gel with me. Like the subject matter, what we're watching, it's not comfortable to watch. It's very uncomfortable. So I obviously was going into this movie with a little trepidation. Then the reviews started to come out, and they weren't the best, but it was hovering around 60%. Day of release, I double-checked Rotten Tomatoes. It's down to 36%, and the audience score isn't even good. It's like 50-some-odd% in the Rotten. And I'm like, okay, well, and I checked that after the fact, but I'm like, okay, maybe I'll like this more. Maybe I'll get something more out of this. There are movies that technically okay, so whenever somebody says that movie's a cash grab, that movie doesn't need to exist, no movie needs to exist. People make movies for our entertainment in hopes that we pay them and they make money. That's the way the business works. And technically speaking, every film is trying to make money, so every film is a cash grab. But there are cash grabs, the standard films you make, which are designed to make money. And then there are the blatant cash grabs, which were only made because the previous film, or because an IP is popular, or the previous film in the series made bank, record break, all that. And you chose that over actually having a good story. That's this movie. This is the textbook definition of, we were only planning one movie, then we made over $1 billion. Movie 2. 65 million. I'm not even talking about the movie right now, but 65 million is what the original was made on, and it made over $1 billion. This film right now is tracking for about 50 million. It made like 90 on its opening weekend, original one. 50 million-ish was what this is tracking for. It might even come under with the bad reviews. Made on $200 million. Now, I know that Joaquin Phoenix does not do sequels very often, so a pretty penny of that had to go to his paycheck. Lady Gaga is a big name in the business. I'm sure that went there. And they did have to build some sets. Certainly, there are sets in the movie for like song sequences, at least some of them. But I don't know where the 200 million is on this film. Like, what? Where did it go? I could have maybe seen 150. 150 I could have seen. But not 200. So, with all that being said, what did I actually think of the movie? Like, what my actual thoughts now, almost 4 minutes in. The movie is a mess. So what you see in the trailer, the base concept of the story is he's in Arkham. He's awaiting his trial. Eventually the trial happens, and he meets Harley Quinzel. He calls her Lee in the asylum. And they spark a romance. And Folie Deux is basically French for shared madness. So they are sharing these song sequence madness moments with each other. They are like a head over heels for each other. And in concept, there's something there. The trial of the Joker could be really cool. Shared madness, musical, like that in concept sounds really good. Or at least as a good premise. But in execution, this movie is a goddamn mess. Look, I'll say what I will about the first movie, that it's just not a movie that buys for me. It's simply because of the tone, subject matter, and like what the story is. That's why it's just not a story I really gravitate towards. But at least I can see all the effort on screen. Let me at least break down the good stuff first, because at least I can do that. Joaquin Phoenix is still good. He's not as good as he was in the original movie, but I think he's still solid here. Lady Gaga, for what the character has, Lady Gaga is good as this version of Harley. They play her basically as like a fanatic fan who makes her way into Arkham to go meet him. And I think she actually outperforms him. There's twists and turns with her character too that made me go, wow, this is as being acted as well as possible. And I hate you as a character. Like, and I don't mean like I hate this character. Oh, this character sucks. So I mean, you like hating this character. Like, oh, like you're like worse than he is. And like, yeah, they portray her actually as worse than he is. And there are concepts that are, like I said, are interesting. The trial of Joker. They question whether or not the Joker is even real or not. Like the idea about that. That's a cool idea to question. There are things that I like here. And some of the music numbers I thought worked. Some of them weren't bad. Hell, there's a scene where Joaquin's tap dancing, and you can tell it's him tap dancing. And I'm like, okay, that's interesting. But obviously with Lady Gaga there, the music's going to be at least passable. Joaquin's voice hasn't really gotten back to his walk the line voice. But then again, he's playing a different character. But sometimes he is able to do it. Sometimes he's able to put The Joker Is Me, I think is a song he sings at one point. Anytime Lady Gaga sings, it's generally fine, although sometimes even her voice is straining, but I think it's because she's acting and singing at once. All at once. And Brendan Gleeson's good. There are good elements in this movie. But the script isn't very good. At least for like Harley, Lady Gaga's Harley. Like they do the best they can with it, but it's not great. Honestly, this movie even opens with like this old-fashioned like cartoon with the Joker going to the Joker show or whatever, going to a show of his, and his shadow takes over, and it's obviously it's kind of teeing you up for the question of, is the Joker? Oh God, excuse me. Talk too quick, sucked in too much air. Is the Joker real or is he not? And is he something that he just made up? And it's an interesting, I'm like, okay, I'm kind of getting where we're going with that. Honestly, though, watching that, I'm like, I would have rather watched the cartoon. Give me this whole movie in that style, and at least I would have thought it was something unique. But the editing is just weird. The structure of the story is very disjointed. It does not work as a musical. While there are musical moments I actually did like, it does not work as a musical because the whole point of a musical is that when the character's emotions become too great to just express normally, you sing. Just use one of my favorite musicals that I used to watch every year. Now I haven't watched it since my mother passed. White Christmas. It was a tradition every year in our household. We watched it. I haven't done it since she passed. One day I'll probably try to watch it again. A perfect example is when Bing Crosby is talking to, and I can't remember, something Clooney, George Clooney's mom. I believe that's who. It's one of the two. Anyway, he's talking about, I have an idea about why you can't sleep. He just starts saying, but it comes off so naturally. It comes off so smooth. When Danny Kaye and again, it's been so long since I watched the movie. Danny Kaye gets into a song or something like that. It makes sense. Everything flows naturally in that. Here, we just stop. We just stop and say, for the first or once in my life, I have someone who needs me. For once in my life, and then cut back to him just staring at the TV. And like, what's the point? Like, I get it. It's in his head most of the time, but then sometimes it's not. And like, what? You gotta pick a lane, guy. Todd Phillips is a great director, but for some reason, this just didn't know where to land when it came to being a musical. It shouldn't have been a musical. I'm not saying it would have been a better. I will say the musical numbers at least I was engaged. But then there's like lines there are lines in the script that are there solely to tee up a song because it's a jukebox musical. It's covers. There's a line Lady Gaga has twice saying, "We're going to build a mountain out of the hill." and it's just to tee up that song later. I'm like, that's all this. Okay, ah. And then, okay, and I can't talk too much about this. We're getting into spoilers, so I'll try to be kind and not say spoilers, because I don't do spoiler reviews very often anymore. Unless it's a movie I really want to talk about in depth and enjoy talking about it, I don't do spoilers much anymore. Like, the trial of the Joker it's kind of a bust. Because again, it's the whole question of is the Joker something he made up, or is he truly the Joker? And I won't give the answer away, but there's a twist on that, and there's a twist upon the twist. I wouldn't even say there's a twist upon a twist. There is a reveal after the twist. And I'm like, okay, and I'm watching this, and I heard someone put it best, and I think I agree. The resolution here on both counts, the reveal after the twist and the twist itself, it really shits on the entire movie of the first one. Like, and you made the first one, Todd. Not that he's ever going to watch this video, but dude, you made this. Did you? I don't know if you wrote it, but this really does kind of just negate everything that the first movie was entirely. Because you get this one twist, and it's just like, okay, where are we going with this? Then you get like the resolution on some other like what's happening last, and then you get the final reveal, and I'm just like, I'm sorry, what now? We're doing this, and I'm not gonna say what this is, but if you've watched other Batman media within the last 7 to 10 years, you've seen this already. And my fear was kind of they were going this route. And it could have been handled well. It's not here. It's not at all. Like, it's bad, to say the least. And it really just kind of makes me go, oh. It really does a disservice to the first one, which, again, is a film I'm not even a big fan of, but I at least respect everything that everyone else says is good about it, and I acknowledge that stuff. So, yeah, it's an unbridled mess of a movie when I break it down. Like I said, the acting is honestly solid, even from Lady Gaga. She doesn't really get... her character's tough because what they do with it is kind of... They really do a very odd version of Harley Quinn here, if I'm going to be honest. But Joaquin's good. She's good. Brendan Gleeson's always good. Honestly, all the acting is fine. We get some returning characters from the first movie that are still alive to testify against him. Some of the song sequences, I think, do work. Not a lot, but some. And the singing itself, at least from Lady Gaga, is good. And once or twice from Joaquin is good. There are concepts I like that could have been explored in in just a better script. But as it stands, man, I don't... You know what? This film did still give me the same vibe I had coming out of the first one. Melancholy and an uncomfortable just... I'm not in a good mood at coming out of this. This will almost certainly be on the worst list. Is it the worst movie of the year, though? Oh, God, no. Like, Madam Web, even though this apparently Madam Web has now a higher audience score than this. Ouch. But Madam Web is leagues worse than this. But ironically, if I were to watch one of the others, I'd watch Madam Web in a heartbeat over this, because I can at least have fun tearing out a new one. There's no fun in this. There's very, very, very minimum fun in this. Like, once a song sequence hits, there's at least a little life happening. But and there's like one or two actual jokes in the film, like where he's signing a guy's book about him. I'm like, okay, that's kind of funny. But otherwise, it's kind of painful to sit through. I'm not going to lie. It's kind of painful. And not in the same way that Madam Web was. Like, Madam Web, me and my girlfriend were going like, what the hell? Like, oh, God. This, I'm more like just sitting there like, oh, what? Like, oh. Like, that's kind of how some of the faces I was making in the theater. So, yeah, I can't recommend... Look, I'm not gonna say it's not the worst film of the year. I may end up seeing worse films later on. Is it good? No. Is it bad? Yeah. Is it something I would recommend seeing? Honestly, no. I actually can't recommend this. There's very few films I honestly say don't go see this. I'm not saying don't maybe watch this like on HBO, but I'll be honest, don't waste your money on it. Trailers. We got the Venom The Last Dance trailer, the newest one, where they say, "Oh, not my creator, no." No. Man, I just don't want that character done dirty. He's one of the coolest. I personally find him one of the coolest newer characters in like the last 10 years of Marvel. So I would really like them not to do Null dirty. So we got that. We got the Captain America trailer. That comes out relatively soon, February. I'm willing to bet we're getting a new trailer either by the end of this month or probably into November. You know what? Hold on. You know what? We're either getting it this month to be attached with Venom Last Dance, or we're going to get it in December to be attached to, it'll be online first, but attached to Kraven. Those are my two guesses. So we got Captain America. We got the Ballerina Dead trailer. I could hear the college kids in the back going, "Oh, whoa, ballerina." And then when the ballerina must have seen her dancing in the stands. And all of a sudden, you're him. Where the Baba Yaga? And then when John came, you can actually hear the people in the back go, "What the? Oh!" Like, F yeah. And that's a great trailer. That's a good trailer. I like that trailer. We didn't get Smile 2. What else did we get? Not Nosferatu. What else did we get? Hold on. I'm going to just look that up real quick. I know we had like 6 trailers minimum. I'm trying to remember. Oh, Gladiator 2, the newest trailer. That looked good. Honestly, that looked fine. It was a better trailer than the first one, that's for certain. Wolfman. We also got the Blumhouse Wolfman. I'm going to hold judgment on that because if what the Wolfman allegedly looks like is what I saw it looked like, I'm going to be severely disappointed in that. Then we also got one called Companion, which I don't know exactly what the movie's about. Looks freaky as hell. Otherwise, I don't think we got anything else for trailer, at least for movies coming out this year. Yeah, I didn't even get the new Nosferatu, which I am surprised about, that we didn't get the new Nosferatu trailer. But, whatever. Anyway, that's my thoughts. What did you think? Let me know in the comments below. But thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. See you for the next one. Later.